person in the world, and if you don't know how to implement things, it doesn't do you a bit of good. Profit share. Here's the thing that I know. This company, I was on that call this morning at 9 a.m. sharing about, and I'll talk about it towards the end, one of our fellow agents who lost a child last week, and the GoFundMe we're doing. This company in 10 minutes raised $17,000 to help this guy with funeral costs and expenses. That's what this company is about. It's about the heart. We believe that if you help everyone achieve, we all achieve. We believe that one of the things that we offer people that most companies don't is this collaborative environment focused on training and coaching and mentoring, focused on helping you become better as a whole person, plus elevating your business. When you truly get what this company is about, let me tell you, April 16th was my 38th anniversary in this industry. I became a broker in 1991 and began running my builder's business, and then eventually opened my own business in 93 and ran that to 2013. Actually, 20 days to the day. It was weird. I sold it on my 20th anniversary. And then I came to the Bay Area. Long story short, I have a lot of experience with other companies. I was a certified broker manager, which is a national designation from NAR, and I was the president of the Northern California chapter for 2 years. So I can tell you, I know every brokerage model out there, studied them, do guerrilla warfare on them. I have never in 38 years seen a brokerage that their values and how they treat their people, agent-centric, comes even close to what we do. And Keller Williams values, there is no space between their values and my values, people first. So we're a company that really focuses on our people. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today, because this is a relationship business. And if you want to learn about growing your profit share tree, it's all about building relationships. I say be nice and work hard. And when people ask you, you can tell them. So the thing about profit share, how many of you are not familiar with our profit share? 3. Okay, good. So what it is really simple. If someone asks you to go talk to the team leader there, she's going to give you, or he's going to give you a call. When we sign them up, if they join, we ask them, who influenced you to come? And they'll name whoever it was, right? And when they name you, then the money they bring into us, our company dollar, or their split they pay us, we pay all our bills with that. At the end of the day, hopefully we have profit. We're not far off. People go, well, if the office isn't profitable, I won't get profit share. You're absolutely right. But it won't take much to get, we're right there on the precipice. Boom, we're right over it. And it won't take much. And how we do it is we bring this to other people who, when they come, their businesses will improve. So the profit we make at the end of the day is split approximately 50-50. You do not have to pay money. You do not have to take on any responsibility. There is nothing, and we don't want you recruiting. And there is 7 levels, and there's a breakdown of percentages, but that's all nice to know, but I don't think it really serves you. What serves you is your first line. That 50% of the profit, half goes to the ownership group. I'm part of the ownership group here. And half goes to the agents. And that half that goes to the agents, if you were the first one they named, you get 50% of that. So let's just say $5,000 went back to the agents, you're getting $2,500. Not bad. Passive income. What is passive income? You know, people say rentals are passive income, but I disagree. Because you had to come up with money, You had to take the liability, you had to sign a contract to buy it, you had to get money, a loan for it unless you paid cash. It's not passive. And when it's rented, even if you have property management, do they come to you? Do you have to monitor it? It's not true passive income. True passive income in my mind is you don't do anything. So here's my favorite story. I started at the Keller Williams in Oakland. I'd never been at Keller Williams. They got me, brought me in, said, hey, will you help us open this office? And a few months in, on our first transmittal was June of 17, and I would say a couple months later, we were profitable from day one. I went to my MCA and I said, I got this weird thing in my checking account. I can't figure it out. It says KWPSACH. She goes, you big dope, that's profit share. I didn't even know anybody had named me as a sponsor because I was always getting them to name the agents because I believe that you will build trust. Get the agents. I'm like, who named me? And this cute little gal who started as a new agent, she sold some deals. I was like, nice. I'm just going to tell you. I committed my profit share. I have two grandsons, 7 and 9. One is special needs. He's in a special school. But the other one's in a private school and has tutoring. I committed my profit share to go towards their tuition. You want to hear something funny? Every year I look at my profit share and it matches almost exactly what I paid in tuition.
Wow.
I know, goosies. I'm like, whoa! You know, our minds are powerful. So just to let you know, it's the real deal. So here's the other thing. I tell people, you do this purposely. How much is your cap here?
Depends when they join. 32,000 rand now.
What do they pay in commission before they get to 100%?
Monthly fee?
No. The commission split, what do you cap at?
Each one.
Each one is your split, but when do you get to 100%?
32,000.
No.
At what?
32,000 for residential.
32,000, thank you. You get the price for the day. Then you're at 100%. Let me tell you,
They were saying the same
32,000.
thing, by the way.
Huh?
She was repeating the same thing 3 times. You didn't hear her.
I didn't hear.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
I think you're
My
looking at
bad.
us.
No, I'll be honest, I can't hear. I have terrible, I will be
So it was a
65.
visual that caught
I
your
will be
attention.
65 in November. I don't hear for beans. I can't see for beans.
It's a visual.
It's a visual. I could see your mouth. So, 32,000. In Oakland, it's 47,000. You charge a lot. So at 32,000, I think you cap right around 4.2 million in production. Not a lot. I pray for a $32,000 cap. Let me tell you, when you consider that all you have to do is get $32,000 in profit share, and it's like you're not paying us anything. Do you know how many people you need on your downline to get $32,000 a year? 2 or 3. It's not much. It's not much. 2 or 3 producing agents and we get profitable, it'll pay for your cap. How does it work? An associate joins Market Center, names you, they pay company dollar. We make sure this Market Center gets profitable soon. I'm an investor, I need you to be profitable. The Market Center is profitable on the 21st of the following month, so we do a thing called transmittal, and that's where all our money, Keller Williams, International, and at that time Keller Williams International distributes profit share. After 3 years, so it's no longer after 3 years. If you join, right, prior to, I want to say it's
2019.
yes, then you'll get it within 3 years, because then it's wherever you go, it goes with you, even if you go to a competitor. Now, after 2019, it's 7 years. 7 years. And I'll tell you why. I was in the room when they made that decision. It was huge and monumental. It was a vote by the international ALC because so many people are using that profit share to go build competing brands. EXP, I didn't say that out loud, did I? I did. So how the tree grows, it's you and then your sponsor. So when you joined, you named a sponsor, right? And then there's sponsors, and it goes on. How far back can you go? It goes back 7 levels. Do you all know who your sponsor is?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone doesn't know who your sponsor is? Because if you don't know, you should be tapping into them because they're invested in you. And then your sponsor has a sponsor and da-da-da-da-da, so it goes. So it'd be good to know. So you can build your tree. Listen, if you start with 3 people, right? Look what happens if they all get 3 people. That's how this thing works. It builds on itself. So really, all you need to focus on is your first level, right? If you look, I don't want you recruiting. I hate it when my agents recruit because I've been trained a lot to do this. You guys have no idea the wrong thing and the right thing to say. Plus, then people are going to be like, oh, he's going to try to recruit me. Just be nice, work hard. Take them to coffee. Bring them the MREA, or better yet, tell them my team leader would love to meet with you. She has a little gift for you. Okay? It really isn't necessary for you to do it. So, here's what I want you to do. Ask yourself right now, who do you know out there that are producing agents or have great potential? Who do you know out there? So take your notes, write down some names. Think of 5 people that you could name. And listen, I'll be coming to this office a lot, and Eric and I are working very closely together, and I'll be meeting with him with recruits, big recruits. I recruited a $300 million team, a $158 million team, 2 $100 million teams. I have the largest $100 million club in my office, in all of Keller Williams. I have the highest percentage of $100 million agents. Why? Because they're a hot mess, and that's what I was, and I know what their penguins were, and I know how to talk to them. So if you know big producers and you go, oh, I'll never get them, that's not true. Because what we have to offer. So think about this, your family, your community. For me, profit share paid for my grandson's education. He's 10 now. My 10-year-old grandson has sensory processing disorder. It's a pretty rough deal for kids, and he cannot be in a normal classroom. He has dyslexia and a whole range of other things. He's the sweetest kid you ever met, really smart, but he can hear a dog whistle, and it hurts his ears. And so he has to be in a special school. And it's very expensive, Hope Academy. My other grandson, at 7, he has to have a tutor 2 days a week. We're getting him assessed. He struggles with reading. I pay for the tutor. I pay for his private school, all with profit share. All with profit share. What would it do for your family? Ask yourself that question. What could you do for someone in need, right? But mostly, let me talk to you. So, relate, refer, recruit. So, what are the benefits of connecting with other sales associates?
Refer.
But what else? Like, don't you have to work together to close deals? And if you're not very nice and there's multiple offers, what are your chances? Not very good. Your deal probably won't get accepted. Hate to say that, because it seems to me everybody should be treated equally, right? but we're in an industry that's relational. And if they don't like you, they're going to recommend against you to their seller. I hate that that happens, but let's just get real. So one, it helps you in business. Two, it just feels good to treat people well and be nice. Bottom line, there is nothing. Listen, I learned years and years ago, live by the highest value. If you value the bottle, you die by the bottle. You value the sword, you die by the sword. If you're going to die for something, die for the highest value. So in my life, I'm going to pull out the L word, it's love. And it's not the gloomy, personal, it's we're all in this together, universal, everyone to me is part of this family. And if I'm not living in that state, which I call our true nature, love, I'm not happy. So when we're out there among others, now if they feel you want something from them, it's just like when you go on a listing and they can feel you just want this deal so bad, we call that commission breath, right? They can sense it. Same thing if you're with another agent and they can kind of sense you've got an agenda. Don't have an agenda. Your agenda is connect, get to know people, and then share the great experience you're having here. And let it be authentic. Don't ever represent what isn't authentic for you. People can feel it. When I meet with agents and they sit in my office, it's coming from my heart and it's authentic. I never sell. You cannot sell a house. House sells itself. You only advise. You can't sell an agent. They don't want to come. You're never going to convince them. All you can do is care about them. I have a thing on my desk that says, people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. You're giving a gift, sharing. So relate. Tell about it to your team leader. So in my office, we have these green little referral cards. The problem is, agents were just writing people's names down without ever having a conversation with them. So when I called them, the agents were like, who are you? Why are you calling me? No, you got to do a warm, hey, I'm going to have my team leader call you. Please call her. Text me. That's my favorite. I'd get a text from someone saying, hey, I spoke to da-da-da. She's waiting for your call. On it. I call. After I called her. She didn't pick up. I left her a voicemail. I emailed her. I got an appointment. We met. I let them know every step of the way. So tell your team leader after you contact them, let me know. And then I go to work, not to recruit. I don't recruit. I share our value, and I coach and consult them. That's it. And then they want to join because they see it. Relate. So here's the thing on other agents you do deals with. I love this. My agents will send an email to that agent thanking them for doing a great deal. Oh, by the way, I've added Tina, my team leader. She's great. You two should meet. And I take it from there. That's it. That's an easy way. So where do you find the people? Right? On tour, on deals you're doing, at social engagements and events, right? Are you friends with a lot of agents out there? I hope so. If you're newer, you will be. Some people want you to go to coffee. I say that's nice, but people can feel it if you just want to go to coffee to sell them on KW. Go to coffee just because you'd like to go to coffee with them. And oh, by the way, you can say, oh, I'm having a great experience. Start a conversation. So they're like, if you're at a thing and you sincerely like them, give them a real compliment, right? Oh, I really appreciate how you do your marketing for your listings. It's remarkably good. It's got to be genuine. Keep the relationship. So they're going to ask you to stop and call people on that list. I'm not going to do that, and I'll tell you why. I have performance anxiety. If I know everybody in the room can hear me, or anybody in the room can hear me, I can't do it. I'll flub my words. I'll be anxious. I need to go set aside a time, be purposeful, plan in my mind and my heart what I'm going to say, and then I call people. So I'm not going to have you do it right now because I wouldn't want someone to have me do it. And when you leave this class, follow up on those 5 people and send Eric a text. Hey, so-and-so said he'd talk to you. He's been advised by me to set up 1 day a week for me to hang out with you guys. Is that okay? If I came and hung out with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Careful what you ask for. I'm a handful. So, here's the thing. There's a lot of things you can talk about. CGI, right? Which is a lot of business conversations. If you don't know about that, I can talk to you about that, but it's kind of going away. There's some other things. Insights from your team meeting. Are your team meetings, are they sometimes pretty cool? And do you do market updates and have insights? Can I tell you, how many of you have been at other brokerages? Do they do really insightful educational team meetings?
Not as much as here.
Right, that's the thing. So do you know what a GPS is? It's otherwise known as a 135. Share that with them. My team leader goes over the 135 and helps me set goals for the whole year. 411 worksheet. How do I calendar it and implement it? The one thing, the millionaire real estate, the invest shift, those are all gifts. I give those gifts myself, but if you want to, my agents will go, I want to meet with so-and-so, can I have an MRE? I'm like, absolutely. I buy them by the caseloads. You can get them on Amazon for $10 a piece, right? Come from contribution. So here's one script. I love doing transactions with you. You are awesome. I told my team leader just the other day how great you are. Here she will be calling you to thank you for the way you do business. Will you promise me you will take her call? Pretty simple, right? How does the team leader receive referrals? I prefer, number one, text me, because I go all day long. If you call me, you can leave me a voicemail, but then I got to transcribe that voicemail, and if anybody knows me, I'm like a typical Meg. I'm a hot mess. A text, I have it right there. I know I can just copy the phone number, call them, I'm done. Email, that's fine, but sometimes I don't get to my email till 8 o'clock at night. I do a 12-hour day pretty basically all the time. Nobody should. It's a disease. It's a mental illness. I have a compulsive work addiction. I start at 7 in the morning, and oftentimes I'm in until 7 at night. And that's just a standard day, and then I get to my emails. And then, of course, call me, right? And write it on a note. Now, I get these sticky notes all over my desk, or those green cards. The sticky notes have someone's name and number on it, and nothing else. And I'm like, what? Hello? Does anybody know what this is? No, someone put it on there. Okay. The green cards are great, except for they were just sitting down going through the MLS of all these agents, hoping that if I call them, then they'll be named as. Doesn't work that way. So really connect us. I love the email. My favorite is the email where we're both on it, because then I just respond. Hey, Claudia, nice to hear you had a great experience with whoever. I'd love to meet you for coffee, or if it's a really big agent, I'd love to meet you for lunch, restaurant of your choice, right? I even go so far as to pick a really highfalutin restaurant to take them to. If they say, oh, I don't want to be recruited, oh my gosh, please don't misunderstand. I am not recruiting you. I tell agents, well, I don't want to meet with you. I'm not planning on leaving. I say, oh, I don't want you to leave. I just want to get to know you, offer you some stuff, because I believe if we help everyone in the industry get better, that's better for us. And I will never bring up Keller Williams. And they will never hear the word from me in their first meeting. And some of them will bring it up and be like, well, Keller Williams didn't. And I said, I don't even know why you're bringing that up. It didn't come from my mouth. Let's talk about you. I'm not here to talk about us. I'm here to talk about you. And then I do a whole thing on assessment on their business. And most of the time when I do that, it helps. They really see it.
Tina, question.
Huh?
Question.
Sure.
How do you introduce yourself then?
Huh?
How do you introduce yourself?
How do I introduce myself?
Yeah, when you're
Without saying
calling.
Keller Williams.
Without saying Keller Williams, like, I'm Tina.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I do say, hi, I'm Tina Jones from Keller Williams.
Okay, like.
But most of the time when I call them, they've been referred, so I just say, hi, this is Tina Jones.
Okay.
And then, or I'll say I'm the team leader at Keller Williams. That's the only time, because they do need to know who I am. But that's very literal of you, Harshita. Thank you very much.
No, because when I call, I'm like, okay, how to introduce without.
Well, you have to introduce, but I don't talk about Keller Williams.
Okay,
My
got
first
it.
meeting with them, I don't talk about Keller Williams at all.
Hmm.
Because why? Is that meeting about us or them?
Them.
Them. I talk about their business. I ask them what's working for them, what isn't. If they could have anything, and they don't know that answer, so then I ask questions like, who's coaching you? Where are your trainings? How many times a week? Who are you surrounding? Who you surround yourself with matters. Who are you surrounded? Are you surrounded by $100 million producers? Don't you want to be in the room with $100 million producers? I just ask questions. What's your CRM? Believe it or not, the bigger the agent, the worse their CRM. Don't ask me. All right. What not to say? Never ever say anything negative about their brokerage or their broker. I was there. He was a real rah-rah. Don't do it. Or anything negative that you think they might be experiencing. Why? I can tell you the one thing people want. They want to be right. And if you shame them about their company, their broker, or what you think, they will immediately, even if they feel the same way, will defend. Am I right? Because they want to be right. They don't want to be made a chump for being at that brokerage. So I never, ever. People will bring something up and I go, oh, I know. And then I just keep going. I won't talk. You know, we have a saying, if you want to have the tallest building in the town, do not tear down everyone else's building, just build your building taller. Don't tear down it, you don't need to. So we were going to have you practice and role play. Do you guys want to practice and role play, or do you want to keep going?
Keep going.
Keep going. I love you guys. So, do you know how I got the $300 million Gunderman Group?
Networking.
I go on my Facebook. When I took this job, it was in my contract that I had to do Facebook. I had finally gotten off of Facebook. Times suck. And they're like, you have to be on it, 3 personals and 1 business post a day. I was like, how am I going to get anything done? I don't quite hit that, but I do get on it once or twice a day. I have 2,300 real estate agents on it. It took me about a year. I just kept adding and adding and adding. And they follow me, they listen, they comment. And when I came to Keller Williams Oakland, and I went to my core group and I said, who's the biggest well in Alameda County? And they said, the Gundermans. But you'll never get them. They're at Alon Pinnell. They love it there. You'll never get them. And I went, okay. Put that on my back burner and went, one day, aim high. And I'm on Facebook, and Alon Pinnell had gotten a hostile takeover by Compass, and they weren't happy. And so they posted, Compass just did a hostile takeover of Alon Pinnell, and it truly was. Who should we be talking to? What's a great brokerage? And everyone was posting their brokerage. And I called them. Tina Jones, Keller Williams. I saw your post. I think you should hear what we are. I'd like a seat at the table. No, I don't think so. Andrew Gunderman in the background went, who are you talking to now? Because they were talking to everybody. Keller Williams. He went, Keller Williams? The dregs. And I started cracking up laughing, and David was so embarrassed that I heard that. I said, don't worry, I felt the same way. This is an amazing company. What you don't know could hurt you. All I'm asking is give me an hour of your time. Well, I don't want to show up at your office. Come to my home. Come to my home on a Saturday morning. I'll have lunch for you. Spend 1 hour. It would be worth your time just to know. He said, all right. So he and Andrew were going to come to my home. That Saturday, I prepared for them. Andrew didn't even bother to come. And David shows up. 2.5 hours later, he left. He went home and he says, oh my God, I think we have to have a meeting with Keller Williams. And Andrew was like, no way. And he was like, way. I met with them again. Oh, by the way, Andrew and I are so close, it's not funny. He's the biggest devoted fan of Keller Williams. It's hilarious. I flew them to Austin, Texas. They spent 3 hours with Gary Keller. Again, another 1 hour meeting. The whole building at Austin, Texas had closed down. I'm up in the lobby waiting for them going, what did he do, kidnap them? It's almost dark out and Gary pulls them up through the elevator and tells me, I'm moving them to Austin. I'm like, oh no, you're not. Took them to dinner and they went to Sotheby's because their team didn't want to come to Keller Williams. I didn't stop. I kept calling them, taking them to lunch, meeting with them. And one day I said, enough of this, you're coming. This is what needs to happen. I had a big dinner. The whole team came. We wowed them with the marketing and everything we did. We did a slideshow for them. And they ended up coming 10 months later. And we presented them at the 2020 family reunion. And barely a dry eye in the house. They were so moving. Social media. I do a lot of recruiting from them. Call them, invite them to a class. We are having in Oakland, Danny Harris coming to do his planning thing. It's really good. We'll make sure we're going to probably do it in an off-site where there's like 100 people can come. Make sure you come. You can invite people. We're opening it to the MLS. I've got Brett Tanner, the wealth building guy. I have him coming. I haven't gotten a final date on it. Track when you contacted the agent, what you talked about when you want to follow up next. Or just email me. Build your plan. So know how many people you want to add. I heard it said that if you have 5 people in your first line, 5, you can make $150,000 a year because our prices are high and our caps are high. Most of the state, the caps are like 16,000, maybe 20. Yours is double that. Mine is 3 times that, right? And then what did you guys get out of this? It doesn't do any good to hear all of this if you don't have something that you can take away and implement. What are your ahas?
Track your agent contacts as you do with your clients.
That's right. I do have a few agents that really very purposefully do this. There are people in the Keller Williams systems who make more than $1 million a year on profit share. This office is on the verge, I'm promising you, of taking off. We just need a couple of good producers to join us, and then the momentum happens. And with my support and coming in and doing a lot more here, you're going to see some big changes. And I'm pretty excited. I know the pipeline we have. I work with Eric every week. I work with Joe a lot. You know, I have a joke. Joe Dickerson's the rocks in his head fit the holes in my head. He's my discovery. I don't know if you know that. He was brand new agent. He'd been at the Keller Williams Danville waiting for Oakland to open, and he came to us. And I think he wasn't bad. He had like $5 million in production in his second year. But you know Joe, He doesn't walk in the room and knock you over with his bright charisma. He's soft-spoken and understated, my favorite thing about him. And he comes in and sits down and he goes, I want to move my license. I went, okay. But over time, he was showing up and teaching classes. He was mentoring. He's coming in and suggesting things. And I'd say, well, let's whiteboard it. And he and I would do a whiteboard thing, and we came up with some amazing ideas. And I went, I love this guy. And then I went to Rick Cunningham one day on a coaching call, and I said, hey, you know that Joe Dickerson guy? I want to ask a favor. I want to bring him into leadership. And he goes, oh my God, I love that guy. I said, oh my God, I love that guy. He's so smart. And he said, what if he was a managing partner in Castro Valley? That's how this all began. And we brought Joe in there, and then of course, if you know Joe, you love Joe, he's amazing. And we, sometimes he and I argue, not in a harsh way, but no, I don't think so. Let's try this. And out of all of that comes some amazing stuff, right? There's a lot of Joe Dickersons out there. Let's go get them. There's a lot of them. So how will you focus on this where you have a whole section in your CRM on agents that you would like to bring over? And how will you keep this going with your team leader? Ask yourself that question. How many of you would like to add 3 people this year to your demo? Do you think that's going to be hard? It's not. It's so easy. It's so easy. And it's just fun. Until you get your 1099 at the end of the year, with taxes on it, and then you're like, oh. But I like paying taxes. That means I earn money. All right, any questions? Thank you, guys. Was this helpful?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, go get them. That's out of your downline. I'm going to jump on a call I have to be on. And Harshita, would you share with them about the GoFundMe?
Yeah, I'll post that.
Okay,
Yeah.
go look at it. There's a GoFundMe account. One of our